so that footage.
Well, I
So,
would say the same thing.
yeah, that's why I don't. That's why I don't call. Cause I'm like, how we talk, the way we communicate on the phone, it flows, and so it's best to just kind of save the communication for the podcast, so that whatever answers I give or you give, we can respond genuinely, authentically,
Yeah.
because we heard it for the first time out of each other's mouths. You didn't hear
Yeah.
it before we got on the phone. We got on the phone. I said that. Then we go live. I say it again, and you can't. I don't
Mhm.
get the same response because you already heard it.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
That's okay. So let's get into it. What's going on, Michael?
Oh, nothing. Just chilling, maxing, relaxing.
How was your week?
It's pretty laid back for the most part. I mean, just caregiver life, same stuff.
Mhm.
My brother's here now though. He comes every other Saturday and help me out.
Oh,
Yeah, so he's in the other room chilling, doing his own thing. So
oh, so you're spending some sibling time.
yeah, he just come for a day. Like he'll be leaving tomorrow night, maybe around midnight or something.
He doesn't live out where you're at.
Nah, he's like 70 miles south.
Ooh,
Yeah,
oh,
so
that's
he
good.
so he comes up and we hang out. He went to the gym with me today too, so we work out as well. So
Oh, good sibling time.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah, he says my
good.
one and only brother.
Oh, no sisters.
I have two sisters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, one in Florida. She's on my dad's side, and I have
Mm,
one that's also 70 miles south where my brother lives. You know, she lives. They both live in. They all live in Columbus. My mom lives in Columbus too.
So
Yeah.
you got siblings.
Yep. Columbus,
Oh,
Georgia. That's my hometown, Columbus, Georgia.
that's a blessing.
Yep.
Okay, so we're going to be discussing Akraf Hakimi and his wife Abu Boo. I don't know, those names are crazy, but crazy for us. We're not used to hearing those kind of names, but not for their culture. Okay, so we're going to be breaking down their relationship and the elements of
hmm
their divorce.
hmm
And so let me go ahead and give you a little bit of texture on Hakimi. Okay, so he was born in Madrid. He came from humble beginnings. His mom was a maid, and his dad was a street vendor. He has a brother and a sister, and he was quoted saying that his parents took many things away from the siblings for his success, which was a good thing. Like that was a good thing. He makes 1 million a month. He's worth 24 million. He's a Moroccan national soccer player and the sixth highest paid athlete in Africa. Now, his wife, who is 12 years older, is a Spanish actress. So she's worth a couple of million as well. So she ain't broke.
It says she was worth 3 million.
She ain't broke. So
Right.
that is good. That we need to put that in there. She ain't broke.
No doubt.
Okay. Okay, so they met at a photo shoot in 2018. So listen to the timeline. They met at a photo shoot in 2018. They went public in 2019. They secretly married in 2020 and divorced in 2023. And they have two sons. So that was kind of a very quick marriage.
Yeah.
So later, Hakimi was accused of rape allegations. Now, normally, this is where it kind of got fuzzy for me. Um, let me tell you this part first. So she immediately filed for divorce, and when she got in the court, they said that he was broke, that he had signed over all his millions, which is 20. He's worth 24 million to his mother. So everything is in his mother's name, 80%. So before I say my take, I'll let you say what you feel about Akimi and his wife.
I think it was smart. That was brilliant. It was a brilliant move to me. Obviously, he had to have seen like warning always comes before destruction. Like you can tell when a marriage is kind of going downhill before the divorce actually happens. And it sounds to me, this is my take. I don't know when he actually did it, but it would make sense to say that he was smart enough to do that way before the divorce actually took place. Because once the petition is filed, a lot of times I think they like freeze assets or something like that. That way you can't just move stuff. I don't know if they can or not. I don't know. I haven't been through stuff like that. So, but it would make sense. It's just like when you do a prenup, you can't have somebody sign a prenup the day of the wedding or the
Yeah.
month of the wedding because they could easily say it was under duress,
Hmm.
and then it can be challenged during a divorce proceeding. So when it comes to, you making those types of move out, taking something out of your name and giving it, signing it over to someone you trust, like your mother, it was a smart move because he already everybody knows how the courts are, family courts are, especially when it comes to one who actually makes more money.
Hmm.
About him being the breadwinner, making $1 million a month. If he makes
That's
a million a
crazy.
month,
That's
come
12
on, what
million
the hell is he
a year.
doing? Yeah, that's 12 million a year, and she's only worth 3 million, which ain't broke like you said, but it ain't nothing in comparison to what he makes.
Yeah.
Like what she made in a lifetime, he makes in 3 months.
Yeah. What was interesting? Okay, so if mom gets 80,000 a month, then he still gets 2,000 a month. So could it? I don't understand. Like, isn't he still making more? No, he's not
But
making more
say,
than her. Is he?
yeah, he made it where it shows on paper that he makes less than her.
Uh
So
huh.
according to the backstory, according to the results from what I'm seeing is that she ended up having to pay him during the divorce proceeding.
Yeah. Well, when I looked it up, they said it wasn't. It wasn't. They haven't. He hasn't did it yet. I don't think he is. I don't think that he's going to try to take her. He don't need her money. He don't seem like that guy. I don't think he's going to take her money. I don't think so. But did you see the video of him and his mom and all his family and friends dancing at a party?
I haven't seen that one. I haven't seen it, but
Oh,
I think the thing is it's a family court needs to be changed up.
it does.
It is because it's not about the best interests of the children, as they say. It's
Mm-mm.
not about making sure things are fair. Like it's not. It's all about what's legal, not what's lawful. What's lawful is not always what's legal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Just like the
yeah.
right to bear arms, you can be caught with a gun, but if you're illegally carrying it, you can go to jail. You know what I'm saying? So it's so many different things that people don't know about the legal system, and that's one of the reasons why I said I would not get in another government sanctioned marriage.
Yeah.
Hell no, no,
Why?
because then I would have to result of the things that he does.
But
I would
okay,
have to.
wait a minute. Okay,
Yeah,
but
but the thing is, why would you allow this stay? Like, say I'm in Georgia, why would I would enter into a willful contract that gives them the unfair, um the entity that's so unfair, and they're only interested in their own interest. They only have their own interest in mind, how we can generate income, um capitalizing off this division between these two couples who can't figure out what they need to do on their own. They can't do it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn one of them into a debt slave and ruin their life. And in the end, the children always suffer for it. Most of the time, the children suffer. They suffer more than, I can't even say more than the victim, because a lot of times I've known guys that put guns in their mouths from the results.
yeah,
That's the suicide rate be high. It be high as hell when it comes to these divorces. And
that's
it
horrible.
yeah. So I'm like, it's relieving to see somebody smart enough to learn what the legal system is about and actually use it to protect themselves. You
It was
know,
interesting that sorry. It was interesting that the people from the states, everybody's like, "Oh, he's a mama's boy and he got to ask his mom for money." But I'm sure she has him set up like he can have an account, a couple accounts, and just you both have the cards or whatever. Like he doesn't.
well,
I don't think
see,
he
those are people that like they don't know shit about law anyway.
in
They,
her
they
world.
people like to talk because they're too lazy to read anything.
Hmm.
They like to make those type of comments out of their own emotions because a man finally they read about a man that actually capitalized on a divorce. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hmm.
I can't even talk to my mom about my situation. You know what I'm saying? Because my mom looks at me like I'm made out of glass. Like, she don't like to see me talk about getting custody of my son. You know what I'm saying? She
Yeah.
don't. Yeah, because That just, and that's just like, if for some reason it seemed like that, I run into that a lot. Nobody likes to hear about a man being on top, being able to learn some stuff. I'm like, it ain't about controlling, but actually being able to protect yourself.
Yeah.
Protecting yourself is what people have to do, and I think men in today's society, a lot of them are just like, I'm only speaking specifically about men because we everybody, it's common knowledge. Men and women both know that men generally end up getting screwed in a divorce proceeding most of the time. So,
Yeah.
by us, like, we have to take the initiative to take time to learn about the legal aspect of what they're doing. What do we have to do? Can't sit back and cry and complain, and then you want to, bend over and take it, but then you want to complain about it. You got to
Yeah.
learn how to protect yourself. I think, Hakimi was a smart man. He knows about trust law. He knows about taking things out of your name. Most
And
people don't even most people don't do those things.
I wondered if like the men of today, like the black men of today, would be open to that. See, over there, they I don't want to say they worship their mom, but the mom holds the title of like a queen. Like all of his team, when every time they win, they bring their mothers down and they all dance and stuff. Like and
Hmm.
they like he holds her hand, kisses, like their relationship is it just looks their culture looks different than like over here. So I could see somebody's mom saying, "Hey, I need you to put all your money in my name," and then that son being like, "Oh, mom, no, mm-mm." It just seems like it's a different culture wise.
It is. It is. We're raised. We're raised to. For one, we're not raised to be family oriented. To start to marry young and start a family young and stick it out and be,
Yeah.
to live, to do right by our spouses and stay there till thick and thin, to death do you part, as we claim we do. Like, most people claim they
Hmm.
love God, believe in Jesus and all the different stuff, and then, like, they'll make these vows before their God, and they're so easy for them to walk away from it because
Hmm.
I'm not happy. I'm like,
Yeah.
hell, my mama wasn't happy with me a lot of times, but she didn't quit on me. She didn't give me up for
Yeah.
adoption. She had to deal with being disappointed with me for a while until I learned better. But that's the same thing with a marriage. You can't be like, till death do us part, through better and for worse, through sickness and in health. And then time when things go bad and now you're not feeling good. Now you ready to go out here and cheat. You ready to go out here and file for divorce. So find out how you can screw that person over so you can, get out of the marriage and then go and find somebody else. It's just like we quit so easily. But other cultures, they tough stuff out. First off, they have a set of standards.
They sure do.
They have standards. They have moral compasses that they live by. Their culture live by. We go by. We
Hmm.
got street codes. That's the only goddamn thing we down like the worst of these goddamn street codes. No, no snitching. But but we ain't got no problem smashing somebody else's wife. Smashing somebody else's husband. Having babies is like, utilizing the courts. To try to, and the government to make money off these babies. Like that, it's all about the love of money, which is the root of all evil. We already know that.
Agreed.
Hmm.
The love of money.
The love of money.
It
And
sure
so
is.
we get caught up on talking about the bag till all morals just go out of the window. And it's easy for us to walk away from a marriage. We don't tough nothing out. We don't build nothing.
I
We don't
think
want to.
people do, but I think that's relative because a lot of times you hear people say stick it out, but how long are you going to stick it out? That's what I found. It was interesting when I was looking up stuff about prenup. Is I think everybody should have like a prenup. I really do. Put your stuff in those trusts in the prenup. It was saying it was a written contract that you and your spouse enter into before legally getting married. It details exactly what happens to finances and assets during your marriage and of course of the divorce. And I think you should. Like when I was listening to oh God, I didn't even get his name. He was breaking it all down. I know when I was listening to David Ramsey, he was saying the four things that gives a good like a success rate was if you thoroughly have these conversations, like honestly thoroughly have these conversations. money, religion, kids, and your in-laws. And I think that's true. Money, definitely. You got to be on the same page with kids, everything, religion, kids. Like
I would
those
go
are.
deeper than that. I would start with the conversation, but I would finalize it with a contract.
Oh yeah, I believe.
I ain't even talking about no, and I'm not talking about nothing involving the state. Period. I just wouldn't get involved with the state.
Oh
You can
really? What
actually
else do you do?
no, you can create a trust.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I would create a trust, and you know you create this so it's like a trust agreement. What it is that we both agree to as a couple. We name the
Mhm.
trust. The trust is the name of it, and you can get an EIN number for the trust because it's
Yeah.
a trust, and anything that y'all accumulate and y'all build together, it's in the name of that trust. If you get a car, it's in the name of the trust. And we have the do's and don'ts. You know, the powers and the restrictions that we both have that we both agree to that's written in the trust. The breakdown. If we have children, we start a family. This is how we are to to handle the situation when it comes to our family, our children. Everything is broken down in this trust agreement, and we have two witnesses to sign on it, and we notarize it. We sign it before a notary, and that thing is binding in any court. Nobody, and then you open up a trust account. Like I have a trust account. You
Hmm.
open up a trust account, you could take, and that trust is private, so you don't have to file it in the county recorder's office or nothing. It's private. It's
Hmm.
between y'all two, and you can actually have two copies, two or organic copies if you want to, but you have it, and then both of y'all is binding. You both have to agree to that. It's just like every job that you go to. You can't you not gonna work for nobody and they don't make you sign documents. They want a contract in there for you to actually, this is what you agree to follow, these policy, these rules, this dress code, how what time you clock in, what time you clock out, when are your off days, your PTO, all that different stuff is all broken down in your paperwork, and you signed off on these things during your orientation. It's the same thing with any trust. All companies run off trust. The whole world is operated by trust, and you could do the same thing with your spouse. They can, if they want, if I want my woman to carry my last name, you can change your name legally to anything. Bugs Bunny or Whoa Wabbit if you want to. You could change your
Hmm.
name to whatever you want to change it to. So you could change your last name to Roseman if you wanted to, if we were a couple. You know what I'm saying? Example.
Yeah.
And you can legally have that done and use that judgment to change your driver's license or whatever it is you want to do. And you have my last name, but we don't have no marriage license. And then they talk about how if he dies, she won't be left with nothing because she's just a girl. And those are people that don't study law. Because if you got a contract, that trust agreement it kills probate. They completely
Yeah.
skips probate. So everything that contract, that trust agreement has in there, if I was to pass or you would have passed, whoever to pass, it has everything laid out as to what happens when the other one is no longer here. What goes to who takes control. The beneficiary can be your children that y'all have together. How whoever y'all have it set up. Is the agreement is y'all's. And it's for y'all to be held accountable. Like if you got a bank account together, trust account, it can have it where, like, say if we break up, we having this problem, we having, I can't go and pull no money out of that thing unless I got your signature on there too. We can have that in the
Oh.
trust agreement. So neither one of us can take the money in the property and just sign or sell something without the other's signature. You have to actually have that person present in order to sell the
Yeah.
house, to sell the car, to get money out of the bank. It's something we both got to be present to do that. So we ain't got no choice but to be accountable. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But people don't think about stuff like that because a lot of times they want, if somebody, a woman says she don't want to do that with me, then we just won't be together. Because I'm not finished saying that, don't want to lose like that. I don't want to risk it like that. But it also keeps both of us accountable. I can't screw
Yeah.
her and she can't screw me. But so we ain't got no choice but to make this shit happen.
So, do you
Well,
think that modern day women are would be open to that? They seem like they would be a little. Well, these ones that
I,
are with the ones that have a lot of money. Like I don't know how that works.
the vast majority of them wouldn't. But I'm not talking about taking everything that you have, like what I have and what you have. We both put all our assets in this one. Trust. No, I wasn't talking. I'm talking about a trust that we started from scratch, that we both built together. Whatever your money is you got in your account, that's in your account. Whatever we choose to build together is what we both have together. If we want to if we want to add something in there together, that's what we choose to do on our own. But it wouldn't be built to where, you know, neither one of us can take from each other what we already had before when we first met. That won't be included.
Hmm.
Only thing that'll be included in that trust is what was accumulated through that trust. Like if we bought a house together, that house that house was in the name of the trust. We got it in the name of the trust. That trust is that house is now trust property. That
Yeah.
house that you own, if you own three other houses over there and somewhere else in another location before I met you, those three houses are yours if we ain't together no more. You know what I'm saying? They're not a part of that trust. They're not a part of this trust agreement. So you don't they don't so she won't lose that. And vice versa. You know what I'm saying? I won't lose nothing that I already had before I that's not a part of this trust agreement.
Hmm. So the trust is the highest. Forget the prenup and do everything through the trust.
The trust is the trust itself is the marriage. It is the
Hmm.
marriage.
So you're saying you shouldn't even go down and get the marriage license? Get
Nope, I
married to the
wouldn't. I
trust?
wouldn't do nothing with state of Georgia, state of nothing, because I know how they are. Everybody knows how family court is,
And
so I
you're
would never
legally
play with them.
married if you do it
I've
through a trust?
I've been legally married before. I wasn't married that long though. Remember I told you I was her third husband. She's on her sixth marriage right now.
What?
I
How was that picking? Did
don't
you know
know.
that early?
Did I know what early that I was her third
Did
husband?
you know? Yeah.
I did know that.
And you were okay?
I mean, then I
Look,
was. I wouldn't do that now.
were
I would
you
keep in mind that
young?
was over 10 years ago.
Okay, well
Yeah.
so let's talk about this real quick. Okay, according to Valuetainment, 5% get a divorce, that have gotten a divorce, got a wait, I messed it up. 5% get, what did I write? Get a divorce, that got a divorce had a prenup. So 5% of the people that got a divorce had a prenup. Okay,
Hmm.
50% of them wished that they had a prenup. 41% of first marriages end in divorce. 60% are second marriages which end in divorce. And then 60% the second marriages end in divorce. And then 73% of the third marriages end in divorce. So then it says the average marriage lasts for 8 years. Every 16 seconds, a couple marries, and every 42 seconds, a couple divorces. Do you believe that?
It sounds possible. And it also says between 70 and 80% of marriages are initiated by women. Most
I
of the
think
time.
if you have to be like, oh, we've been together this long, blah blah blah. I shouldn't have to pressure you to marry. And I understand it does happen, like as far as religion and families and all that kind of stuff. But if you have to force or encourage or nag a man to put a ring on your finger, girl, leave
But
him.
see, it's easy to say that if you're not the man. You know what I'm saying? Men, it's not that men don't want to settle down and find a wife and settle down. We don't want to go through the pressures of what could happen if it doesn't work and then we get a legal dick ran up in us.
Okay, then do like you said and do the trust, and then you don't have anything to worry about.
Right. So you'll be married, but not legally, but lawfully you'll be married. So
Oh wait, say that again. So you're not married legally.
yeah, you don't
What's
have
the
a
difference?
legally is when you got the state involved. It's a contract with the state.
Okay.
Lawfully is privately. A trust is private. It's a private
Yeah.
agreement, and it does not have to be recorded in the county recorder's office. You can create a certificate of trust that makes it puts on public record that the trust actually exists and who the trustees are, which will be the man and the woman. You know who the trustees are and who the beneficiaries are, whoever we make the beneficiaries. That could be on the record because that big, but that's not. It's not an actual license. You don't need a
Yeah.
license to do something. It's just like you don't need a license to have sex, but you can have sex. You don't need a
Yeah.
license to have a baby, but you can
I
have a
don't
baby.
see a lot of women because they want the wedding, they want
Yeah,
that marriage certificate.
Yeah, I know because they want to cash out. If women were the ones that would lose most of the time in divorces, you think they would initiate marriages like divorces like that?
No, but but plenty of men have said that they know when a girl is the one. So why be with a girl for 3 and 4 years and you don't ask her to marry you?
I wish I had I wish I had statistics that shows how many men who actually got married thought that that was the one.
Or what are you saying that she wasn't the one?
Yeah, a lot of times people think they're the one because that's how it feels. That's how it feels at that time. You know what I'm saying? Now to get me wrong, now keep in mind you got to admit that you being a woman, you can even speak on behalf of majority of women. Not everyone, every woman's different, but at the
Hmm.
same time, biologically, you all are emotional. So you can feel a certain type of way at a certain point in your life, but then later on in life, it can change up. You may not feel that way later on, and so those butterfly feeling that man gave you way back when you were ready to get married, you were ready to have all his babies and live your life with him and all that stuff. That new car smell, as I call it, that new car smell wears off after a while. You ain't all that excited about that joke after you got tired of picking up your socks on the damn floor. You got tired of washing dishes all the damn time because he don't ever help wash the dishes. You know what I'm saying, or whatever it is that it aggravates you about him, and vice versa. Everybody loses that new car smell. I mean, you're gonna get
Oh
tired.
yeah.
Both of y'all gonna get on each other's nerve at some point. But generally, and then if you sit here and think about the potential outcome, if I was to divorce this woman, what would be the outcome? And I already know what probably will happen in court. Chances are I'll think twice before I would try to divorce a woman. If I already know, I probably not have to pay all alimony, be on child support, won't be going to get to see my kids as often, won't get to be able to have quality time with my kids like I'm doing every day, in the same house. I ain't got to worry about
Hmm.
no other dude being trying to help raise my kids and all this old extra stuff. And especially me knowing that, I wouldn't be so quick to try to file for divorce. As opposed to me, if I was a woman, I know that I would get child support, alimony. I get the controlling vote on who gets like who gets custody of the kids. He may get visitation rights, and then I'll get the house. And since I got the kids, I'll get the house. I'll get the car. You know what I'm saying? I'll get rewarded. There are incentives put in place from family court that incentivizes a divorce. And more and if a man is the victim of that, which most of the time it is him, chances are that's why a man could be with a woman for so many years and don't want to marry her legally, but he don't want to leave her. He loves her. He wants to be with her, spend the rest of his life with her. But if she pressuring him to get the state involved in their private situation, that's what can mess up the whole thing. She won't leave well enough alone. And so that's why I strongly believe in the trust. That's why I speak about the trust because I'm like, if you put a trust in the situation, she ain't got to worry about not getting no benefits if I was to pass away. You know what I'm saying? You can always legally change your last name to mine. We can get the rings and go through the ceremony, the wedding, and everything. You can do all that. You don't need no damn. You don't need to stay involved in what you're doing. You just don't.
I'm all for the trust, but that's why. Okay, so you're saying that the prenup wasn't good, but as far as the trust, I know within the prenup you could break everything down like what because I was in. Correct me if I'm wrong. Even if you're broke, you could do a prenup with that person. But can you get a prenup if you have a trust, or do you think that if
If you got to trust, you don't need nothing else. Except y'all's vow to each other and in between y'all and your creator. You getting the state involved is not even biblical. It's never been biblical. We got the state involved, yet we'll go before our God and we'll sit here and make this vow, but then we'll enter into a contract that does not give God any type of jurisdiction on how it's supposed to go. We let this state is really the God because that's who's actually God. That's who's actually running the show. It actually subconsciously runs the show because we know it's just like if you know your daughter, your son. You got a son or daughter? You got
I
a
have two
daughter, right?
boys?
Two boys. Okay, you
Well,
got two boys.
I do have a stepdaughter. But I
Okay,
have
okay. So I'm just saying, like, if you have one of your kids like to run to you because they already know that you're gonna say yes, and daddy gonna say no, chances are they'll come
mm-hmm.
to you because they're gonna get their way. And it's the
Yeah,
same thing with if I already know that the state if I already know the state gonna got my back if I was to divorce this man, why wouldn't I want the state involved in this so I can make sure I lock this man down? So if this shit don't work, I can always go through them to monetize the situation. That's one of the reasons why the attitudes are so hard to get along with. It's hard to get along with people, because they got they become arrogant because they can weaponize the state against them. So why would I get them involved in my private business? I'm gonna protect myself
hmm.
at all costs. I done dealt with too much in my body. I done went through a lot of health issues dealing with my situation, dealing with my situation. I'd be damned if I ever enter into a contract with the state involved because I already know what they do. And by me knowing what they do, I know how to limit those things. I have a trust put in place even now to try to do what I got to do as far as get my son back. I shouldn't have to do that. I
You
shouldn't have to.
shouldn't.
I shouldn't have to damn near die, be on damn near on a deathbed trying to get my son back when they should do 50-50 off the rip. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? It's my child just like it's her child, and he should have an equal relationship with both sides of the family. Both mother and father. And the state don't give a damn about the kids. They say that
you
in the
know.
best interest of the child, but I think the key word is interest. It's a financial thing.
Hmm.
They trying to get their interest. They
Hmm.
trying to get interest out of that child, and they monetize the whole thing.
Yeah.
I wish I could show you something, but I know we on this video right quick. I can show it to you if I can reach it without getting off camera.
No, why not?
No, I'm about to show you something. It's something called a CUSIve number.
Hmm.
Yeah, this is it right here. This is a black and white copy right here. You probably can't see it. See those
Okay,
numbers
yeah, I
right there?
can.
See those numbers right there?
Yeah.
That's my court case right there. It's probably written backwards, but this is what my that court case is worth right there.
And that's like what from the state.
Yeah, this is the CUSID. This is the CUSID number right here. That's a
Why would they
CUSID.
put that money number on there?
Then what they do is they securitize every court case. They securitize every
Oh,
court
who's
case.
getting that?
Huh?
Getting that money? Who's getting that money?
The state's getting it. They do that on every court case. They put them on the stock market and they make money off every case. And every child support case that they can get arranged, they make 66 cents on each dollar that they can get that they make from federal funding off of child support cases. All they do is they divide and conquer. So why would I get them involved in my
Hmm.
private business? I just wouldn't do it. Since I know these things, by me knowing this, it would be
Yeah.
crazy for me to know these things and still ignore it and just get into a contract anyway, just because she and her emotions about it. I don't give a damn about them emotions. Those emotions almost caused me to die because I was in my emotions when my son got taken. So it almost
Yeah.
killed me. So when you learn, you got to do what it takes that do what it takes. When you learn better, you do better, right? Supposed to.
Hmm. That's
But yeah.
interesting information.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, you might do
I
some
don't. I
research
don't
on that.
know.
I used to know by heart what CUSIP mean. I'm gonna tell you in a minute though. CUSIP number. Yeah, Committee on Uniform Securities Identification Procedures. You can look that up when you get a chance to. Committee on Uniform Securities Identification Procedures. That's what they use. They actually use those the court cases and they securitize them just like they do with car loans and mortgages and anything with that social security number attached to it. They securitize all that stuff and they make money off of it. That's why you need that social security number every time you apply for something. That's
Hmm.
another topic.
Yeah.
But that's another reason why they need the social security number when they're doing child support cases. You know, baby mama commits identity theft when she going for use that there, put that man name and the number and the social security number, his address, using that on an application to apply for child support. That's identity theft by itself is a crime. Most people don't know that. They be so scared, be hiding their card and stuff. I don't hide no card. I wish you would use it. I file a charge against your ass. Yeah, I had to, but see, I didn't know these things back then. I called the judge
Yeah.
out too. Called the judge. I'm like, I'm telling you, I don't consent, and you still try using it. you know,
So talk about that because I think you had said that when a man does like maybe he gets served with papers or anything as far as child support, if his name is on that paperwork, that he does not have to sign that paperwork.
yeah,
Is that
a child support is an option. It's not a law. It only becomes law when you agree to it. All they're doing is basic contract law. Now, the fraud that they do is when you file, like, say if you was to say we have a child together and you file for child support, you know, and I have to answer. I have to file an answer into that case. If I don't file anything written in writing into that case, objecting to the proceedings at all, I just show up. Already, I'm in default because I never answered the original complaint. That's what they
mm,
do, and that's called acquiescence. It means to reluctantly agree without protest.
mm.
It's just like if I snatch your, if I go in your, if I come in your house and just go in your refrigerator and start grabbing shit to eat in your fridge and you don't say nothing about it, obviously it's okay because you never said nothing about it. You never addressed it. But if you check it right then, I know that you don't you don't agree to it. It's the same
Yeah.
thing. You have to file it in writing because the court actually is the paperwork. You know, you have to have something on the record, and most people don't. So they agree to it. So they go in there trying to explain and telling the judge, "I take care of my baby. This what I do. I do that." All this explaining what you're saying with your words, it means nothing right now because you never filed an answer. And
Yeah.
that's what people don't. That's what people fail to do is file an answer. You have to file an answer and serve your opposing party your answer, a copy of your answer, so they'll know you answered it. But that's the first step. You have to respond. It's just like third party debt collectors when they send you something saying you owe them this and you owe them
Mm.
that, and you just throw that shit away. I ain't got no pay. I ain't got no money to give them. Throw it away. They're having
You
court
better
with you now.
dispute it because they
Yeah,
got to
that exactly.
verify if that means.
Exactly. Exactly. That's it. And all this stuff is biblical. It's actually organized religion, and people don't even know it. It's organized religion. There's a scripture that the scripture when it says agree with your adversary quickly. Remember that scripture?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Let's
No.
see. Agree. You remember? You know what that dog? You know. It's
No, I don't remember.
Matthew 5:25. Yeah, it says, "Let's agree with your adversary quickly while thou art in the way with him, lest at any time the adversary deliver you to the judge, and the judge deliver you to the officer, and thou be thrown into prison." That's the King James version. But there are other versions of that same scripture that tells you it words it a different way. It tells you to come to a settlement while you're on your way to court with your accuser while you're on your way to court. That's the way it words it.
Oh,
And that's the same thing that third party debt collectors do. They send you, they're having a court with you. They're dealing with trying to come to a settlement privately before they try to take it to court. And if you don't respond, you just acquiesce and they can get a default judgment against you. And that's how they end up putting it on your credit. You know,
crap.
they just having court with you. But anyway, that's what they do with the child support cases. People they don't respond in court.
Mm.
And then when they go before the judge saying, "I'm ordering you to do this, I'm ordering you to do that," your check stubs, how much do you make, how much is your salary, your income. They use these legal terms like salary, income, stuff like that. What's social security number? They want all this information, and these people, and in our ignorance of the law and our fear and ignorance are the only two weapons that they have against people in the courts. That's everything. It don't matter what it is that you're doing, whether it's man or woman.
Yeah.
It don't have to be just child support, just court, period. Our ignorance and our fear, thinking that the judge has authority to make you give this information, submit this information to the court, and then you give it to them. So basically, you just bent over and took it. You basically just said, "Okay, I agree. Here it is." And
Yeah.
that's just in layman's terms telling you, because people don't know that your name in all caps is a trust. That's actually a trust. That's a trust that was created when you were born. It's a public trust, but that's a different topic. But most people don't know that they're not the trust. But you're supposed to take control of that name, and you're supposed only you have authority to contract with that name and that information. Nobody can force you into a contract. But if you don't file no objection, you go ahead and give them the check stub, and then you saying she put me on child support. No, she didn't. You agreed to it some kind of way. And then you let the judge bully you into giving information that you didn't want to give. You're supposed to respond to that shit.
Yeah, I just think that a lot of people just don't even. I mean, you could say, "Oh, we don't read" or whatever, but how do you even know what to read? How do you know where to look?
You gotta let your conscience be your
Yeah,
guide. First, start off anything you read, you look it up. They got law dictionaries. People
yeah,
they don't look up anything. Like I'm like we'll read a damn Facebook meme, but we won't read. We won't go look up no law books. Just got to pick up some stuff. The
yeah,
information is out here. These things here these are like libraries. These are
yeah.
libraries. We can look up anything we want, but we just a lot of us, we're fearful and we're lazy. We get caught up on these distractions, race wars, gender wars.
Hmm.
We get caught up
Yeah,
on things that is not going to help our life at all. Like but I even had this kind of change on TikTok. A lot of the stuff that I entertain, I talk about relationship stuff sometimes, but I don't get into the gender wars. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Because I'm just big on reciprocity. I like, if I'm pursuing a woman, I want to pursue me too. Let me know you're interested, so that way I know I'm not wasting my time. And you want to be, we gotta be equal effort. Just equal effort.
Yeah,
That's what I be about. People too busy fighting. They don't want to learn nothing. And this information is out here. People out on TikTok, you'll be surprised what you'll find on TikTok. You'll learn something new on TikTok anytime you're looking
yeah.
for it.
I think TikTok has as a bad reputation, but I don't. Of course, it has bullshit on there, but I say it just like YouTube. I call it YouTube University and TikTok University because if you follow the right people that are saying the right shit, like you can learn a lot. You can always do your research and to see if it's true. But I've learned a lot business wise, my credit. Man, I raised my credit up 100 points following the right people
That's what I'm
and
talking
getting
about.
in their room in the webinars. Like I know so much. I didn't know that mess. If I would have known that in my 20s, I'd be a beast. I'd be a beast right now.
Tell me about it.
Like these young
That's why they're trying
people
to get.
have
That's why they're trying to get rid of TikTok. That's why they're trying to ban
hmm
TikTok. The people are communicating and
hmm
educating each other like at an
yeah,
alarming rate, and things are shutting down
yeah.
over here. Like these people learning how to get the titles to their cars. They
hmm
find they know
hmm
how to look at their contractual agreement and find out what it is that the fraud that was hidden in their contract, and you can use that to shut the whole thing down and get your
Yeah,
title. And I'm like,
yeah,
I already learned. I'm already on top of it. So I'm
yeah.
about to do the same
I
thing.
have. I always say I have a blueprint. I'm in execution mode. Like it's crazy of what we just don't know or we weren't taught by our people. Of course, because they didn't know. Like we didn't have all of this information growing up like these kids have. There's millionaire kids out here. Like just make they ain't gotta work.
Yep.
You really don't have to work a 9 to 5. It's so many systems for you to have different channels. You just gotta
Yep.
figure it out, do your research, and execute.
Like you said, follow the right people. If you
You
following
do.
if you following these people that all they doing is arguing, complaining about men and women and passport boys and feminist groups and all that, I ain't got time for none of that shit, man. 'Cause I'm like, because I'm like, I don't have the energy for that. I'm like, it actually even when it comes to relationships, because I'm a single dude myself, and I'm like, it makes me. It's like you don't have hope to find any damn body that you. You like, there ain't nobody out here that worth a
Yeah,
shit. Then if you keep listening to that shit, it's like you have no hope to find
yeah,
anybody that's worth anything. And I'm like, so you gotta. I do believe in. You attract what you think. You know what I'm saying? If you feed your mind bullshit all damn day, that's where your mind's gonna be at. And you can actually
Hmm.
close the door on blessings that can be right there in front of you just because you know your mind is stuck on this here. Yes, you have a woe is me defeated mentality about anything, about damn near everything, because you feed your mind trash every day, all day.
Hmm.
And I'm like,
That's what I
how you
said.
escape?
You are what you consume. Like if you're
Yeah.
watching that dumbass Zeus network and all this damn Rock and Krishan domestic violence, attempted murder, like that's how you're gonna be. And
That's
it's
true.
sad. We'll sit and watch a train wreck, like instead of really trying to. I mean, you can't make anybody get help,
That's
but
true. It's
it
so
sucks.
true. It's true. I remember when I was a youngster, man, all I did was I rode around listening to Scarface and the Ghetto Boys and, you know, No Limit Records. And I was like into all the gangster hard stuff. And I'll still
What?
play it. Yes, I live in the eyes. You wouldn't find me playing no R&B nowhere in my car.
Oh, no.
Man, shit, I was hardcore all the way. Walk around.
Ah, hell, you were one of those.
I was that dude. I was a hothead too. Hit
Oh
somebody in the
no.
mouth with a heartbeat. I ain't had no problem hitting nobody in the mouth. And then it's like it just that was my mentality. But as you mature, start feeding yourself something else. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Definitely.
you got to start feeding yourself with some different information. Get around different crowds so you can people that can help stretch you. If you always around people that they all they think about is fighting, shooting, getting into
Yeah.
some kind of dirt, street living the street codes, the street life, and that's the only thing you're gonna ever see. Then how can you complain about not going nowhere in life?
Separation means elevation usually means separation. You
You
really
have
got to
to.
look at, and then when you start doing the work on yourself, like trying to do the inner work and all that yourself and trying to work on yourself, you start seeing what really is around you. Like
Hmm.
like you're like, dang, I didn't know you were that, dysfunctional or that toxic or that like emotionally imbalanced. Like it's crazy. And Lord forbid if you pray like, Lord, if you say, Lord, take the people away from me that is not supposed to be in my circle, or or unhealthy relationships or any of that, you'll see them fall right off.
That's
I
true.
mean, really, it's sad. Like I did that at the beginning of the year, and the people that are no longer around me, it is what it is. Either you wrote your own pink slip, or I had to separate myself because you weren't serving me. A lot of people don't know what friendship is. Like they really
Hmm.
don't. They should look it up because it's reciprocation. Like if I'm always pouring into you and giving to you, and you're not doing that back, what is your purpose of really being around me? Like I said, the women that I have right now, I'll never get rid of them because they do pour into me. They do pray for me and pray with me instead of the ones that smoke blunts, which it's just
It's
a different. It's
it's
different.
it's
I don't.
amazing how you brought that up because I was just watching a video just on TikTok last week where they were talking about the difference between men that with friends and women with friends, and these two guys. It was two guys and two chicks. They were both on there. Two women. Both of the women were talking about people that serve you being your friend.
Mm,
They were using the word that serve you. They don't serve you no type of way. Then why they're your friend? And the example she was giving, she was basically talking about people that actually physically do things for you. And I'm like, and how you just broke it down was different because you talking about people that even encourage you and they pray for you, they pray with you.
yeah.
That's like an emotional, spiritual type thing. Like an
Hmm.
encouragement type thing. It goes beyond just if I need you to give me some money, you got it.
Wow.
If I need a place to stay, you got me. That's
Yeah.
the type of stuff that these women in that video were describing. And I'm like,
Mm.
you gotta ask yourself what kind of friend are you? That's why you call them your friend.
I don't think a
As
lot of
opposed
people
to
know.
yeah.
I
So
don't.
I'm like, I
I don't
have
think they
friends that I
realize.
don't. Yeah, I have a friend that I have friends that don't really have no money. You know what I'm saying? But they're my friends.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
know, I even got it's a married couple that I've been friends with them over 20 years, and I've actually lived with them before. You know what I'm saying? I
Hmm.
wasn't homeless, But I moved out of, like, when I moved out of Columbus, Georgia, it was right at the beginning of the pandemic, and I was looking to move out of my apartment into another apartment up this way where I'm up now. But you couldn't find a place to move into. There was no vacancy anywhere. And so I'm like, damn, ain't no vacancy nowhere that's actually affordable for me. You know what I'm saying? Everything was like
Uh-huh.
super expensive, but it was like, or more bedrooms than I need, like 3 and 4 bedrooms. I'm like, I don't need that.
Yeah.
But I couldn't
Mm-mm.
find no vacancy. And then he was like, man, just stack your bread, man. Just stack your bread and stay with us, man, until you find something. We're only here for maybe a few more months. And then by the time that our lease is out, you probably done found something by then. And so him and his wife both let me just stay there. I was like, cool. And that's what it was. They had no problem with it. Didn't charge me a dime to stay. I had the force money they had. But
Oh,
these are how friends are. Just like
yeah.
I've done and I've looked out for them as well. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to,
Mhm.
it's just all about not just serving people on a financial level, but also being there
Yeah.
for them when they need you emotionally, just like being there, being real friends, not just because what I can use them for. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And most
Yeah.
people, a lot of people, they only keep people around when they could use and get something out of them. I'm like, I got friends that are broke. I can't get a dime out of them broke asses. But those are my people. They're my people.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, that's just the way they live their life. So I ain't mad at them. I ain't, but I'm not gonna discard them because they don't know nothing. They don't have nothing like they can give me. But it's certain things that I don't know. That's just how I deal with people. That's just me. But when it comes to me growing, me trying to do different things with my life, I do understand that certain friends people that I've called my friends, they're not mentally, prepared to go where I'm going. Like if you live in your life a certain way and you're
Exactly.
content with where you are, you're content with where you are. You're my friend, but I gotta leave you behind though. I can't take you on this journey
Yeah.
with me where I'm going. It's just like when take 50 Cent the rapper. He took this about the whole hood with him when he made it big. And he realized
Hmm.
he had to send some of them jokers back because they were slowing him up. They were costing him. They were more of a liability than they were an asset to the business. So he had to send them back to the hood where
Hmm.
they came from. And that's it don't mean that he got a problem with them. They just can't go on the journey with him.
Hmm. Yeah.
It's that simple.
Yeah.
People can't go. They can't all go with you.
They can't. And I swear, like this year, it's kind of the end of last year, I had two people that didn't even know each other said the transition that you are going into, you are not going to end up with the same people that you're starting with.
Right.
And it's evidence that of what happened this year with particular people, like that's true. And I'm better like by myself. I like to move in a whole isolation kind of thing. Like I like to be focused. I don't need the distraction or anything.
Right.
I'm gonna end. We're gonna end this live, and
Okay.
we're gonna come back on. But I'm gonna end this because of the time. So thank
Okay.
you guys for tuning in. I know that you learned a lot from Michael, and so tell them where they can reach you and see your content.
Emerald's Reviews. I have a YouTube channel, Emerald's Reviews. That's as you can see it on the screen, that's spelled like that. If you can put the regular O there, you ain't got to worry about that special O there. You just put the regular O there. But Emerald's Reviews is my YouTube channel, and I'm on TikTok under my name, Mike Roseman, Mike_Rosemond. So I don't even be on Facebook. I got a Facebook page, but I don't be on there. Facebook, I got tired of Facebook jail.
Ah,
Facebook jail. They'll put you in
I'm kind of
Facebook jail in
tired
a
of. I'm
heartbeat.
tired of.
Yeah, it's all
Yeah,
good,
they
but
quick
that's
to
where you can
censor my
find me.
shit.
It's all good.
All
But
right,
I
y'all.
appreciate
Thanks
you having me
for.
on, and we'll take off on it some more. And whenever you're ready for it, I'm
Always,
more than willing.
always.
All
So
right,
much love, you guys. Peace and blessings, and you will see me and Michael soon.
no doubt. Y'all take care.